Welcome to Nerdities. Bitches.
No topic too absurd, no statement too asinine, no question too interesting. This is another awesome Nerdities interview show. I am Mike, that is...
Justin.
That Joe. And it's almost like we planned this out for the Halloween season. We got a monster story writer on our hands. You are, sir?
I'm Nick Edwards. Hey guys, what's up?
Nice to meet you. Welcome. The book is The Apostasy.
Yes. Correct? Yes, The Apostasy. That's right.
Got it right.
Yeah.
My mouth and eyes don't always work together anymore.
I know what you mean.
So can you give a quick breakdown of the story for us?
Yeah, for sure. The Apostasy is a 48-page demonic horror comic. I made it with an artist who works and lives out in Akron, Ohio, named Dave Schuler. And Dave is awesome, man. His art in this book is really out of control. The pitch behind The Apostasy is like lone wolf and cub set in hell. So you got a lot of demonic hellscapes, a lot of really freaky looking demons and creatures, and a lot of gore and all that. But it's also meant to be, a pretty human tale about self-discovery and maybe becoming disillusioned with what you love to do. And I think folks are really going to dig it.
When I heard that initial breakdown, I read that on the Kickstarter page, the first thing that came to mind for me was The Good Place. Have you ever seen that show?
Yes, totally.
Is it an inspiration in some way?
In some ways, yeah, because one thing I love about The Good Place was they would always talk about these terrible tortures, but it was like a Mike Schur show, right? I think very PG, very sweet, and it's such a good show. But they would talk about time to fire up the old penis flattener.
Bees with penises. And penises on pretty much everything.
Yeah, right, exactly. At one point in this book, these two demons are just talking about work because they're torturers, and one of them's been I've been on a huge chainsaw kick lately. What have you been into? He's like, I'm really sticking with needles, and he's like, oh, nice, classic. And
The Office, but torture.
Right. Yeah. It's just everybody's got a 9 to 5, right?
So The Good Place, a big part of it for the main demon, Michael, is a redemption story. Would you say that'd be similar here, or is it just kind of a finding yourself?
Yeah, I mean, to a degree. So the main character in The Apostasy is a demon named Gainsbourg. And Gainsbourg starts, when the story starts, he's working as a torturer in the 9th circle of hell, which is the part of hell reserved for the most wicked souls on earth, the people who live the worst lives. And the story, and this is a job he's been doing and excelling at for eons, right? And our story is really about what happens when one day Gainsbourg goes into work and there is someone who he's tasked with scourging that he doesn't really think deserves it. And just what happens there, and what happens between those two characters and everything like that. I liked how the story played out. I didn't have it outlined before I started writing the script. I just kind of let it unfold naturally, and I thought it was really pretty cool.
From what I saw on the pages that you have on the Kickstarter, it almost looks like a gory Sandman in a lot of ways.
That is a really cool compliment. It's very, it's very surreal, right? And Dave, the artist, I met him at an arts festival outside of Pittsburgh back in fall 2022. It was almost 3 years ago that we met. And he was, he had a table set up at this festival with a bunch of his art and everything, and I just really freaky looking, really dark art in the best way. I was drawn to it immediately. And so I knew I wanted to write something that played to his strengths as an artist, and so I kind of let him the script. There were a few things that I was specific about in terms of direction, but I really just kind of let him do his thing with a lot of just how things look and feel, and I think he did an awesome job.
Yeah, a lot of the monsters have a scary stories to tell in your dark, it's still in the dark kind of shape to them.
Yeah. Really, with all the characters, I gotta give him all the credit, man, because I just there were even a few demons that pop up that I was like gave no visual direction on at all. I was just like, Dave, go crazy, have fun, and he did, man. I love his character designs. I think they're really cool and they help the book stand out.
One of the statements made in the Kickstarter campaign is the two words that caught my eye: human-made.
Yeah,
that's a pretty obvious statement.
yeah.
So,
well, is it? Like, I would think so, right? I would.
In this day and age, it's not just a statement; it's kind of like a stand. And that's a better question. Is that the perspective you're coming from? Because on our show, we're not very AI. Well, 2 out of the 3 of us in this room aren't very AI happy.
No.
Yeah, no.
Joe.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Joe, on occasion, will dabble with AI, and we chastise him for it.
I'm an IT nerd.
Heavily.
So, okay, I think it can have some practical uses, but I don't think art is one of them at all. I wouldn't wipe my ass with an AI generated cartoon. It's not art. Art can be good or bad, right? Like just be like, for something to be art, it doesn't necessarily have to be good.
Yeah.
But even if somebody makes like the crappiest drawing in Microsoft Paint, that has more artistic integrity than if Midjourney were to create this beautiful Sistine Chapel. It's just it's content, but in order to create art, the one rule that art needs to confine itself to is it has to be made by humans. You need a soul to make art, and AI doesn't have that.
Well, it needs expression.
Yeah, and I don't know. These large language models are super, complex and everything, but I don't think they have emotions. I think in order to create a piece of art, you need emotions.
Well, I think that leads to another question, though. What if we get to the point where AI does have emotions? I'm on the fence. Do you think we should validate the creations they make, at least artistically?
If it got to that point where they were that complex and then they started creating their own stuff, I wonder about that.
Yeah.
But as of right now, people who are just, writing prompts, and I was doing this, me and my buddy who we run our comic label with, we're Unearthly Comics. We exhibited at a convention in Central Texas earlier this summer, and at every con, there are guys selling you've got comic people who are there to make comics, but then you've also just got print artists, which is cool, no shade. Those dudes do a ton of business at these shows, but they just have prints that they've done of Iron Man and Baby Yoda and Sonic the Hedgehog and all that, which again, no shade, respect if that's your scene, but they're just guys like that. And there was a guy there who was his booth was catty corner from us, and his Yoda had an extra finger, and his Boba Fett's hands holding his guns, his fingers were a little nubby, and this dude was just raking it, man. He was selling stuff all weekend because he would just have kids come up and see a print of Shadow the Hedgehog, and little 8-year-old, I know when I was 8, I wouldn't have been discerning of is this guy doing AI stuff? No little kid cares about that, but it just it sucks to see. So yeah, all of that to say, human made, it is kind of a stand. I think that it's not when it's made by one of those AI art generators. It's not art, it's content, and I like to put art in my comics.
Yeah, I draw myself, and one of the most disturbing things I think that's happened to me is going on Facebook, seeing an image up at the top, oh, that looks like something I've drawn. Oh no, wait a minute, I loaded that onto here, and the AI has taken it upon itself to alter it.
It steals. Yeah, exactly. It steals from real artists. I could go on.
And tries to sell it back to me, essentially. Like, oh, look at this. Look at what we did based on what you did. You like it? You want this version of it? No, it looks horrendous. It looks muddled. Why would you do that to me?
It's 99.99 times out of 100, it will just make an inferior version of someone's art, and it sucks. And then and like, you know, not to lib out too hard, but then like you're getting that, and like what we're doing to the environment, and how, like, you know, I live in New York, and you know, across the river in Jersey, they're putting like just a ton of those data centers there. My power bill's going through the roof. Like, it sucks, man. And like in every way, it just sucks.
Yeah, we're in Jersey, so we're not enjoying any of this in any way.
Yeah, you get it.
Nick, so I always like to ask when we have guests on, want to peel back the layers a little bit, let listeners know, what are you into? Like, we know you're...
for sure.
You know?
Yeah. I'm a huge horror geek. You know, I love horror stuff. I'm a big comic geek. I know that might seem like obvious to say, but I'm a huge X-Men fan. Love the X-Men.
How do you feel about what they do with the movies over the years?
Oh, man. I mean, well, like, I think the movies capture being an X-Men fan so well, because there are some that are kick-ass and so good, and then some that are so... Do you guys... Can I cuss on this show? Yeah, cool, because there's some dog shit X-Men movies that are, like, so embarrassingly bad, and then, like, one of them is contradicting the story in the other one, and it's impossible to keep in track of, and, like, at one point... Go ahead.
Zero continuity in those movies.
None.
Zero. From movie to movie.
They laugh in the face of continuity, and like that's the X-Men comics. That's what it's like. That's what it's like. So I do like a lot of the X-Men movies. Like X2 is still one of the best. Days of Future Past was really good. I just rewatched Logan with my girlfriend. So good. It's like so good. And so, you know, you got those, but then you've got your X-Men Origins Wolverines, and so it's X-Men media runs every gamut of quality you could imagine, and I love it for that, you know?
I'm starting to realize it's a lot like Star Trek movies, where it'll be one is, and the next one was like, oh, I can't believe this is one of my favorite movies of all time. And the next one is, did they even watch the first one? Did they even know what they were doing? And then the fourth one comes around like, now there you go. Now they're on track. This train is running.
Never been so back. And then like the next one is like, we got to stop making these. And then just, but I'm always there.
Yeah.
And then Dark Phoenix happened.
The second time they did the Dark Phoenix saga, and that's the crazy thing, is it's like it's the Dark Phoenix saga. It's like the one of the best comic stories ever. Like they've tried twice and they can't do it. I don't get it.
They shit the bed, cleaned up all of the drapery stuff, and then removed the mattress, and we're like, all right, we're not going to make the same mistake again. And then ate like Taco Bell and Chipotle in the new bed, and it just got like, how do you make so many bad decisions when you have the template of what not to do the first time?
I don't know. It is such a mystery. There was that one scene in that movie where Dark Phoenix Jean Grey makes Professor Xavier walk telekinetically. And that was kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was watching that, I was like, oh damn, that's like really pretty dark. And that is the one thing that sticks out to me about that movie. I liked Fassbender as Magneto, but
he was great.
They kept like, I think they gave him like a kid in each movie and killed his kid in like each movie he was in. Each time they kept giving him new trauma to like why he was Magneto. And it's
Someone
like,
he cares about has to
Yeah.
die every
has
episode.
to die.
Everyone.
The most tragic dude of all time, and just let him be Magneto, bro. That's it. I really like I love Apocalypse, like the character, and like the Age of Apocalypse is like my favorite comic run ever, number one. And I love Oscar Isaac. And so I was really excited for like, Oscar Isaac as Apocalypse. These new X-Men movies have been pretty good. Like we're on a bit of an upswing. Like this will be cool. And that one I thought was really bad. And I thought they somehow took an actor I really like and a character I really like and didn't do either of them. Did both of them a disservice. It was weird.
So many poor design decisions in that. I think the worst part about that universe, and I'm kind of happy it's going away, is how flagrant they were with the world. Like, they destroyed Cairo.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They destroyed the White House. They destroyed so many different places, and it's just like, mutants.
Another day, we call that Tuesday in the X-Men world. Magneto killed like 10 million people in that movie. And then at the end, Professor X was like, come
This
on,
guy.
Remember the 60s? We had a lot of fun in the 60s.
Right.
You go.
And Magneto's like inverting the Earth's poles.
Yeah.
It's like, some people do acid. I do acts of like global terrorism.
Yeah. You're not going to do it again, though, right? You learn this time.
Until my next kid gets killed and I have more trauma to unleash on the world. Yeah.
He turned into Clint Eastwood by the fourth time he showed up, where it's like, this is my plot of land. Don't step on my plot of land. Of course you're going to step on my plot of land. Those movies are crazy. And I thought, like, Deadpool and Wolverine was, like, it was fan service, the movie, for sure. But, like, in this case, I was the fan. So, I was watching it the whole time, and I was like, oh, this is so shameless what they're doing. Like, this is so, like, empty and hollow. But at the same time, I was having so much fun. I was like, there he is on the X, and, like, there he is. There's the Incredible Hulk cover with the Hulk's face and his claws. And I was like, there's Age of Apocalypse. And so it was very... That, for what it is, I think the Deadpool movies are fun. And it's funny you say that, because I came out of it, like, I saw it in the theater, I'm like, oh, it's so fucking great. It's incredible. It's everything you want. And then Justin eventually sees it, and he's like, yeah, it was fun, but, like, it's the same story again. It's Wade has to learn something he's already learned. I'm like, fuck you, stop ruining these movies. It was fun, right? It was great. He's like, it was great.
Yeah, of course it was fun.
Didn't he learn that lesson in the last movie? No, like, first he learned to love his chick, then he learned to love his friends, then he learned to love his universe. And I think Justin's point was, shouldn't you have gotten that when you learned to love your chick?
Yeah.
You would think so. So all of that is super true, but we also got to see Wolverine cut Sabretooth's head off. So, who's to say
don't get me wrong.
it was really a bad movie or not,
that street sequence, when he first puts on that helmet, man, it's like, this is the pinnacle. At 25 years, and we got it.
This is it.
It's all that. That was the $20.
Yep.
If I could go back in time and tell, like, fourth grade Nick, like, who was, like, just reading his first X-Men comics and being like, oh my god, this is the coolest stuff I've ever seen. If I could just tell him, like, dude, wait. And, like, I wish I could.
If I could tell 20-year-old Mike, don't worry, it's not always going to be Matrix leather. One day, he will have the yellow outfit.
Yes.
One day, Spider-Man is going to look like Spider-Man, and his eyes are going to blink. Trust me, his eyes. One day, Hulk's not going to suck.
Right.
One day, your favorite X-Men cartoon's going to get a fucking sequel.
30
And
years
it's
later.
going to be so good.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. X-Men 97 it was like better than what anything I expected. Like I was excited for it, like when it was announced, because I love the animated series. It's the best. And so I was excited for 97, and it like way surpassed my expectations. Like really straight up just good.
When Rogue and Magneto are having an existential conversation about, like, love and life on, like, Genosha, of all places, and, like, right before a gala where it's like, I don't know if I love you or Remy, it's like, this is not the show I expected. And I love every fucking second of it.
And that was that scene where they're dancing and that Ace of Base song is playing, and I'm like, this is prestige television, and then the fucking E is for Extinction happened, and the Sentinels attacked, and I'm like, this is the best show I've ever seen. And then in the same season we got Fatal Attractions, Magneto demetaling Wolverine, and so it's like, it's honestly, it's never been a better time. The current X-Men comics aren't my favorite ever, but it's really like never been a better time to be an X-Men fan. X-Men fans, we're eating good.
Oh, how'd you feel about Krakoa? Did you enjoy the Krakoan age?
Loved it. I collected every single issue that came out in the era, which is cool. I've got the Hickman omnibus on my shelf back there. I loved the Krakoa era, man. I like Jonathan Hickman a lot. He's like the kind of guy I read his stuff and I'm like, I'm never writing again, because he's just like so good.
I'll never get to this level.
No, I'm not smart enough. Like he's a guy, you read his stuff and you can just tell like, oh, this guy is so smart. And
he's done research. Fuck, I shoot from the hip with everything.
It is the blind leading the blind with me, man. Dude, better believe it. And so I was a huge fan of him going in. And House of X Powers of 10 is...
Sins of Sinister was disturbing.
It was so much fun, though. It was like so dark and so disturbing that it was like a blast.
One of my favorite periods was Utopia, when Cyclops, they were getting attacked and Cyclops was just like putting characters together and using power combos. Like, wow, I never thought of that before. What's the next step of that years later? Mr. Sinister genetically creates just monsters out of all the X-Men.
Evil, sinisterized versions of all the X-Men. I love Kieran Gillen too, and I loved how he wrote Sinister. He was just like so sassy and campy and like really funny.
It's a fucking favorite character.
Yeah, I love the whole era. I was sad to see it end, and I kind of thought it had little Game of Thrones syndrome where the end just like it felt rushed. I'm not gonna say like I hated it, but like the whole finale just kind of felt a little rushed. But I still overall really, really loved the era.
I think the other side of that is because on day one you had Orcus, you had someone being like, "We're on your ass. It's only a matter before we get you." You can't really extend that story too long before it's like, when are you gonna pay off Orcus? Like, Orcus is everything they set up with them. These guys are a threat, and they're cornering you, and they cornered them well. The X-Men Xavier got pounded in that whole story.
They took some pretty serious L's there, man. It was really good. And we got the ending. I don't want to bitch about the ending. You know, it was good. It was still good. It definitely wasn't bad, but it didn't hit the highs that because House of X Powers of 10 was another one of those. I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool, and it just really blew me away.
Even going into it, knowing all right, I think immortality's on the table. I think they've figured out a cool way to do immortality. And then when you learn what it is, and you learn the new status quo, and you learn the new world for mutants, you're like, this is not going to last, but I haven't felt like this since, the Dark Reign. I haven't felt like this since, Siege.
It went past being good X-Men comics, and it was just, a great science fiction story. Just truly, a great story, and it was... so many comics are so cyclical in nature and so soap opera-esque in a way where they, Clark Kent's always gonna go back to being a reporter at the Daily Planet, even if some crazy story stuff happens, he'll eventually find his way back there, right?
Everything comes back to one. Everyone resets at one.
Exactly, and I know we're going to get to a point where the X-Men will go back to the mansion, and our Xavier's gifted youngsters, right? And
but you have to build to it, and you have to want it, and you have to when we get there, you have to appreciate it.
But the Krakoa era and changing of the status quo was so cool to see, and really love it. Can't say enough good things about it, honestly.
We were basically out of time. We spent a whole bunch of
we talked about the apostasy. I can talk about X-Men all day. That's
because
hilarious.
of that, we definitely want to have you back on. We love having people who can just nerd out. We only touched a tiny corner of the Marvel universe with mutants. We could go balls deep next time, but we want to let everyone know the apostasy.
Yeah, I want to know Nick's horror love too, because
yeah.
Oh man,
I think we got fertile ground.
Yeah,
I think we got some very fertile ground.
Yeah. No, you guys are cool. I also just could nerd out on this stuff all day. Yeah, horror stuff, X-Men stuff, other comics. I love it all. So yeah.
The kick starts on what date?
Yes, if you like X-Men or horror or this book isn't really X-Men like, but if you like those comics,
Limbo.
Yeah,
an entire time spent in Limbo.
If you like magic and the New Mutants run and Demons in Hell, there we go. We tied it in. Exactly.
Beautiful.
Check out the Apostasy. We're launching the Kickstarter this Saturday, November 1st. It's going to be running for the month of November. So probably going to, wrap things up. Probably sometime on December 1st. We'll let it run through the full month. And then really looking at fulfilling orders probably in the back half of January or early February. Hope to get books in everybody's hands, in February of next year. Hope you check it out. We are on Instagram at Unearthly Comics. I've been posting a lot about the book, and we link to the Kickstarter campaign in our bio, and you can check us out. We've got all our comics digitally on globalcomics.com, which is a great site full of a lot of awesome independent comic creators. And then we've also got our own website on unearthlycomics.com. You can check out our stuff there too.
All bases covered. This is a man who knows how to promote. We're not going to do the long ending. We don't like to do that during interview shows. We just like to do the standard sign-off that we do on pretty much every show. 2-word combo. Fuck bye.
Fuck bye.
Bye.
Fuck bye. Right on.
There we go. Everybody just
Because of the end of civilization, the Clamp Cable Network now leaves the air. We hope you have enjoyed our programming, but more importantly, we hope you have enjoyed life.